Hi, welcome to this quick and dirty guide to trading in Elite Dangerous. I recently was doing a lot of work for the CG, hauling goods, and also hauling to support other commanders' colonisation efforts. And so it occurred to me that for beginners, you could do with a little bit of a background on basically how the economy in Elite Dangerous works. So here I am, Dr. Reichelt Beacon, which is a surface port. So it's on the surface of this planet here. And let's just have a look and open up the local services. Alright, so here is the commodities market. This is where you buy and sell. The economy in Elite Dangerous assigns an economy type to each outpost, station, and settlement that has a commodities market, and it will show which of those economy types the particular market belongs to actually here on this panel. So you see it says commodities market, and then underneath it says refinery. That means that this is a refinery type market, which will sell the types of goods one finds in a refinery in large amounts, and it will buy the types of goods that a refinery demands. So we'll open it up. Normally it's a lot quicker than this. Thank you. Right, we have just had a patch, just to be clear. Right, so the buy tab here shows the commodities that are available to buy. When you're trading, you buy things where they are plentiful and cheap, and you carry them to where they are needed. You take them to where the demand is great and the supply is low or non-existent. So buy cheap, sell high. That's basically how to make profit, and that's what you want to do when you're trading. You want to make a profit. So if we look here, we can see that the market is divided up into different commodity types. There is a section on chemicals, a section on industrial materials, a section on metals, a section on textiles, and a section on waste. Now, there are other sections to the market which you'll be able to see when we go over to the sell tab. I'll come back to the buy tab in a minute, but just want to show you here. So if we go to the sell tab, you'll see this, here are some other things. So still got chemicals, but now we've got consumer items, foods, legal drugs, machinery, medicines, minerals, salvage, technology, and weapons. And that's because these are all things that they want to buy here. If a thing doesn't have any use in a particular economy, you will not see it in the sell tab. You can't just sell whatever you have in your hold wherever you want. You have to take it somewhere where they're actually buying it. Otherwise you won't be able to sell it at all at any price. If you're wondering, well, legal drugs, sure, but what about illegal drugs? The illegal drugs are not sold in a commodities market, they're sold at a black market. This particular video isn't going to deal with black markets. We're just dealing with legal trading because I want to keep this as quick and easy as possible. I don't want to spend ages doing a lot of editing, so I'm basically just recording this raw and then it's going out. So let's go back to the buy tab and have a look. So as you can see, there are these green bars next to many of the things in this market. These green bars represent very high supply, as it says on, if you look on the right hand side, you'll see we have information on a particular commodity. So when we hover the mouse over a commodity, we get information on it. So here, for example, we'll look at the liquid oxygen. So it shows what the galactic average price is. It's 1,375 credits. Here you can buy it for 598 credits. That galactic average price is a galactic average sale price. So the credits you would make if you were to sell at the galactic average are 780 credits. It also shows us here from places we've actually been where the commodity is consumed, in other words where there's a ready market for it. So we can see that the Loaning chemical plant in HIP 111486, which is 22.14 light years away, requires liquid oxygen and would be willing to pay 2,259 credits. The green arrow pointing up shows that this is higher than the galactic average price. We are also shown other places that produce the commodity that we've been to and that are local. We're currently in the Ithers system. There's another surface base with a market called Abe Installation, and they also produce liquid oxygen, and they're also got it available for 598 credits. So we're also told somewhere in Serenir produces it, but we're not told what the name of that place is or what the price is, because we haven't actually been there. When you visit a station, you get market information from the station. When you haven't been to a place, the game treats it like you don't actually know anything about the market there. But don't worry, because there are certain useful things to know about different economy types that will help you trade even when you don't know in advance any information about the markets. And I'll show you a useful third-party tool that can help you get information about markets for trading in Elite Dangerous. But for now, let's keep an eye on what the information we get over here is. So you can see it says high supply in this market. This may indicate a good purchase price. So that it explains to you what these sort of green histogram icon is. It tells you it means high supply, which tends to mean that there's a low price. So lots to buy means you can pick it up, fill your cargo hold with it, and take it off somewhere where they want to buy it. This is very important. This description tells you what economy type produces a given commodity and where it's consumed. That's where you're going to be selling it. You're going to be selling it in an economy type that consumes it. So industrial economies consume liquid oxygen. And then it has a little bit of information about what the commodity actually is. So oxygen, I think we all know what oxygen is. Liquid oxygen is oxygen that has been cooled to the point of condensation. It's useful in cryogenics or to oxidize other substances. And here at the very bottom, we can see what our current cargo capacity on our ship is and what our current credit balance is. So let's have a look at some other things here. So if we look at, because this is a refinery, so for example steel, if we look at steel, it tells us that's consumed by industrial and military. And if we look at military grade fabrics, unsurprisingly consumed by military. Synthetic fabrics consumed by industrial. Bio-waste consumed by agricultural, and it tells us that's produced by everything except agricultural, and it's consumed by agricultural. So basically the reason it would be produced by agricultural as well, of course, but they use their own, so they don't sell it on the markets. Basically it's manure, isn't it? So I'm not going to be trading any of that today. So what we would do is we would fill our cargo hold full of something here that we want to take to a place. Now, for example, if you look at surface stabilizers, that's a good example for me to show you here. What matters here is that it's a surface base, because surface stabilizers are only used at surface bases. So you will find that some items are only used in surface bases, not in space stations. So you wouldn't want to take it to like a Coriolis station or something like that. But if you're going to a surface base that isn't a refinery base, they will need it. And just if we go down to, let's see, well, yeah, they're not going to sell anything here, I don't think, that is potentially contraband in some places. But if we were to purchase, I mean, we can get the information on it here as well. So if we go down to legal drugs, if we go to tobacco, We get information on that. So it says it's consumed everywhere, but it's prohibited in imperial prison colonies and corporate markets, and most federal worlds, and independent theocracy and corporate markets. So you need to be aware that just because something is legal where you buy it, it's not necessarily going to be legal everywhere you might take it. And if you are carrying cargo that's illegal and you get scanned, you will be fined. And the more of it you've got, the more money you will be fined. So just take a gander, and typically it's going to be things that look unusual or that are legal drugs. Rare commodities are, for example, something you need to keep an eye on whether it's illegal. It might be down to which faction owns, for example, how it says here, federal worlds, or it might be down to the government type, like corporate, theocracy. These are government types. They tend to be the way that legality of cargo is determined. Right, now this particular market doesn't sell any rare commodities. But let's see. There's no longer a healthy supply of CMM composites, even though the game's only just come back on after the patch was put on, which is interesting. But being able to get any of these at the moment, these are like hen's teeth, honestly. I'm gonna just stock up on these for now.
Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
That's how you buy cargo. You can only buy as much cargo as you have capacity for. My cargo hold is full. You heard the Kovas point out that I'm at maximum capacity. I can no longer buy anything else. So let's exit out of there. Now, I'm going to show you the galaxy map. The galaxy map can give you information about which economy type a different system might contain. Now, the colours here relate to economy types. These are the economy types in Elite Dangerous. Grey means there's no economy, i.e. it's not a settled system, so there's no one living there if it's grey. But as long as there are people living in a place, it will have at least one type of economy. So the economy types are extraction, refinery, industrial, agriculture, terraforming, high-tech, colony, service, tourism, and military. Extraction extracts minerals, and you are going to find a lot of raw materials, and ores and things like that in an extraction economy. Refinery obviously refines those things, so you get the types of things that we just saw in this local economy. So immediate refined products like metals like steel, aluminium, and you also find basic chemicals like liquid oxygen and some light manufacturing. So like we saw, there were some textiles available, even though it's a refinery. Industrial tends to produce kind of the basic manufactured goods that every society relies upon. You know, power generators, shot mounts, clothing, those types of things. Agriculture produces food, fish, algae, meat, coffee, tea, grain, those types of things. High tech, I'm skipping over terraforming. High tech tends to produce the highest tech, most sort of high-end manufactured goods. So agronomic treatment, progenitor cells, advanced medicines. I think they usually sell like non-lethal weapons. It depends on the market, but I'll look on Inara to show you some actual real examples in a bit. I'll show you Inara because that's a third-party tool that you're going to find very helpful for trading. Military doesn't tend to sell very much. You might get some landmines and weapons, but they're not really producing. So the colony types that tend to buy but not sell very much other than bio waste are military, tourism, service, colony, and terraforming. They're not really producing very much, but they do need to consume. They're going to need food. They're going to need, if they're on a surface, they're going to need the things that surface colonies use, like shock mounts and skimmer parts and things like that. So I'll show you some examples, but before I do, I want to warn you that the colours of these dots, while they definitely tell you that there will be some activity of this particular market type, it doesn't mean that that's the only kind of market that exists, because it's not based on system, it's based on actual places you can trade, i.e. spaceports and surface ports with a commodities market. So for example, here in Ithers, let me just click here to get rid of that. Right, so here in Ithers we have refinery, but we also have extraction. But on the wrong thing there. That's not what I meant to click on. Like Belinjaba has industrial, so that's why it's yellow, but it also has agriculture. So in any given system, you've got more than one market type potentially. Not always, but potentially. So if you want to know each one of these potential trading points, you can see that there's two icons on the left hand side where it says Reichelt Beacon. There's the two arrows pointing left and right, and then there's two arrows inside a circle with a bar through it. The two arrows means there is a commodities market, and the two arrows in a circle with a bar through it means there is a black market. So if you go on to one of these others, for example, Diawara cultivations, as the name suggests, cultivations, that's an agricultural economy, and it shows you that here. So operational status, normal service, allegiance, if there's one, state, none. That means it's not in one of the states that a system can go into. I'd cover that in a different video. Economy, that's the bit we're interested in. Agriculture, relationship neutral, has appropriate landing pads, no. So I can't land at Diawara cultivations because I'm in a medium ship, and clearly they only have a small pad, so I can't land there. That's also an important thing to point out. If you're trading, there's no point looking at markets which don't have landing pads that are large enough to accommodate your ship. Some small places will have a commodities market but no medium landing pad. Many places have no large landing pad, so if you're in a type 8 like I am, it's a medium ship, you'll be able to dock on outposts that have small and medium pads and no large pads, which is a benefit to you because it means you can trade more routes. You're going to be able to trade routes that the bigger ships like a type 7 or a type 9 can't trade to, and that could potentially mean that at times when there are shortages of particular commodities, such as when there's a CG like there's recently been where the CMM composites were in short supply because everybody wanted them, you can still find them by going to somewhere that doesn't have large pads in your medium ship like I have here. Actually, I'm not sure Reichelt might even have large pads. I think it does, you know. Anyhow, I still found some. I look at Automa Works. That's an extraction. So in this one system, we've got refinery, extraction, and agriculture. It'll only tell you about two of the economy types, even on the galaxy map. So when we click on ethers, it will tell us that there's refinery and extraction here, but it won't even tell us that there's agriculture. But if you've got a small enough ship, you can find agricultural markets even in this sector. And this all affects the economy itself. So next, let me take a look for you Inara. Now move it so I can see it over here, and then I'll make it visible to you. So this is just a page that when I've bookmarked it, that just happened to be the page. So if we go under data on Inara, we can look for commodities, or we can look for trade routes. This one is particularly useful if you don't have an idea of what it is you want to trade or where you want to go. So let's say we were starting here at Itho, right? And I'll go come on, what was it? 352, I think. And you can set your maximum route distance that you're interested in, and you can also set the maximum age of the prices it's going to use for this calculation. So you can set that shorter if you want. Let's set it to 1 day. Plus out of date price info, you know, you don't need that. View additional options, that's quite important, because here it starts with the default of minimum landing pad small, but we can't land on a small landing pad, so we need to set that to medium. The best, like, you can order by best profit, you can order by best profit per hour, you can order by the freshness of the data by last update. We can order by route distance, so that if we want to just do a quick route, although best profit per hour is a similar thing, because that's looking at how quickly you can run backwards and forwards. Because what this does, the trade route, is it's going to find you a trade route. This is not a one-way trade that you're doing. This is where you could be picking up commodity A, taking it to location 2, selling it, picking up commodity B, then taking that back to location A and selling it, and going backwards and forwards like that. Or you could do like a 3-point triangle, where you go from location 1 to location 2 to location 3, and trade that way. But this is probably going to give us like an A-B trade route. So we'll just go with I don't know. Let's go with best profit per hour, just for, out of interest, right? And we don't care about what power. But if you did care, if your power play makes you care about which power you're helping out here, right? Because it does have an effect. Trade does have an effect on the background simulation. Obviously, everything does. Right. So we've got a number of trades here. So this is just an example of a profitable trade route. You could pick up at Nahavandi station in HIP 23824, and then go to Frazetta port in Hunza. Now notice that that's not where I am. It's looking for something within range for me, within an 80 light year distance, but it's not where I currently am. So if, for example, we went down here and instead went let's see, distance, rather than route distance, just distance, it might come up with something that starts in ethers. Yeah, there we go. So it's helping us out here, and we didn't even tell it right-click beacon. That's just where we are. So here's a route. Go from here, pick up gold, sell it at Digi's Park in Hossein, then pick up thermal cooling units at Digi's Park, and take the thermal cooling units back here to right-click beacon, not right-click belt, right-click beacon, and sell them, and that's a profitable route. Here's another example. We could pick up CMM Composite, which we have done. We could take that to Scotty Vision in O'Neill, and then we could pick up geological equipment and bring that back and sell that here. So, and it shows you on the right hand side here the route distance, when the information was last updated, and the profit per unit. So you make an average 43% profit running this route, whereas here we make less profit per unit, but we make an average profit of 950%. So profit per hour is higher with this, but the percentage profits are higher with this. All depends on what you're looking for, really. But now, if we go to data, stations. So this is where I can show you what particular stations markets look like. Okay. So if we look at Jameson Memorial in Shinrata Desra, I know we'll get something there. So that's got a market, right? So here you can see all of the commodities. So these are all the commodities, and some of them have got a buy price, and some of them have only got a sell price. So the ones that have got a sell price, you can sell these in that particular station, and it shows you what the demand for that is. And some of them have only got a buy price. Those are what you can buy there, and that's what the supply is. So that's how many units, how many tons there are available currently to buy. And you can see that it uses the high supply or the high demand. The green thing where you can sell represents high demand, so you get a good price. So you can see here it produces agronomic treatment, it consumes hydrogen peroxide, for example, under consumer items, consumes clothing, produces consumer technology. It consumes all of these things, beer, liquor, tobacco and wine. Under foods, it consumes almost all of the foods except for synthetic meat and food cartridges, which it produces. It requires all of these things. But under machinery, this is where we start to see more of the things that they produce, because it's a high-tech economy. It's producing things like atmospheric processors, building fabricators, crop harvesters, geological equipment. Most of these are actually only usable on surface bases. Interesting, like geological equipment you don't use on a surface base. I think, who uses building fabricators? Let's have a look. So if you want to know anything about a particular commodity, if you click on it in Inara, it will tell you about it. So this is produced by industrial. I think it's it's Jameson Industrial. I thought it was high tech. Sorry, my mistake. There must be industrial. So it's produced by industrial, it's consumed by colony surface, extraction surface, high-tech surface, military surface, tourist surface. Yeah, that's one. So those are the surface colony types that consume it. But notice not terraforming. Terraforming economy. Let's see if we can find a terraforming economy. Hold on. So let's go back into let's hide Inara for a second there. Right, we'll go into the galaxy map and we'll find ourselves a terraforming economy. We want a dark green. I'm actually going to turn off everything else to help us find it. I'll leave colony on as well, actually, so that I'll leave colony in service and tourism on, so that we can look at those markets. Right, so Tukanay sector DGWB22. Well, that's a colony. That's not got quite a few colonies. Ah, here we go. Mexicatutsi. It's terraforming. Right, so Go to the star system, Mexicatusi. And it's got Sternbach Colony, which is a civilian outpost. Look at the market. There's no market data for it. Interesting. So it's got a market. There's no data. Right, Jowry HG. Try that. Well, that's got a few stations. Beer holdings, that's terraforming. Okay, so, and there's market. Right, finally we have a look at a terraforming market. So hydrogen fuel is available to buy, and is that everything? Yeah, and bio waste, as I suspected. So you can buy hydrogen, you can buy bio waste, and that's it. That's it. Everything else, they're buying it. So they're buying agronomic treatments, they're buying water, they're buying clothing, consumer technology, domestic appliances, beer, liquor, onion head, gamma strain, tobacco and wine, animal meat, coffee, fish, food cartridges, fruit and vegetables, grains, synthetic meat and tea, polymers, semiconductors, superconductors, atmospheric processors, power generators, water purifiers, advanced medicines, basic medicines, gold, osmium, palladium, platinum and silver. You can offload all of the different types of salvage there. Apparently, although there's not much demand, check that out. Let's see how it's red. See how it's red. Not much demand. In fact, there's not much demand for much here. Water purifiers and polymers, much demand. Grain, much demand. Even coffee and fish, there's not much demand. If I filled my hold up full of coffee, I wouldn't get very far. I'd have to go somewhere else to sell the rest of it. You see what I mean? So you need to familiarize yourself with the different economy types and what they like. But once you do, you can typically come up with profitable multi-stop trade routes, and they don't even have to be circular. You can trade your way from A to B, as long as you remember that different places want different things. You can use refinery, extraction, industrial and high-tech markets and agricultural. And so what you would do, for example, you start out like I am in a refinery. So then you would go next to an industrial world, because industrial worlds often need the raw materials that are produced in a refinery. And then you buy in the industrial world, and you can take stuff from that industrial world, depending on what you stock up on, to an agricultural world, for example, and then sell it and buy food, then take the food to, say, a high-tech world and sell it, or take it to an extraction world and sell it. If you take it to a high-tech world and sell it, then you can pick up stuff in the high-tech world and maybe trade that to an industrial world or an extraction world, and so on. So you're moving from economy to economy, buying what is needed in the next place you're going, and then you sell there, and then you buy from them what's needed in the next place you're going, and so on. And doing that, you can trade your way across the bubble, making profit everywhere you go. That's basically trading in a nutshell. No discussion of trading would be complete if I didn't show you how to actually sell the goods. So since I've shown you how to pick up a full cargo of things, now I will show you how you actually sell it when you arrive at the destination. Your eyes will not deceive you. This is a completely different cargo of goods that I picked up later. This is not the CMM composites. I dropped them off at somebody's colony ship.
Landing complete. Alight when ready. We trust this port will serve you well, Commander.
Trust it would as well. Right. So this is a refinery market as well, but I picked up some galite, and that's a raw material. I picked it up at an extraction market, and now I'm selling it here at this refinery market. That's how you do it. Just go onto the sell tab, scroll down until you can find the things that you're looking to sell. You'll be able to see over this side how much of it you've got, and then you'll get a button that allows you to sell it, and you just sell it. Easy as pie, and you can see whether you're making a profit or a loss. So you don't want to be selling at a loss, you want to be selling at a profit. Ooh. Hope you found this interesting and informative. If you've liked it, please hit the like button. That really helps the other people to find my channel and watch my videos. And if people are watching my videos, I'm motivated to make more of them. So it's a virtuous circle. So and if you want to see more of my videos, that's what the subscribe button's for. So you can click on that, and if you put the notification bell on, you'll even get reminded by YouTube when I've actually put something new out, and then you won't miss anything. Okay, thank you very much. Fly safe, 07.